Hey there. So I just wanted to share something that happened. I don't know if you necessarily would call it a realization, but it's just kind of like how I do things in other parts of my life. Let's just say. So I went on this pretty. I guess some would call a major hike this weekend. I went for an overnight backpacking trip to summit Mount Langley. Mount Langley. It's one of the 14,000er peaks here in one of the 14,000ers here in Southern California, or in California, in the Sierra Nevadas. I'm not sure which rank it is. It's not the highest, but it's one of them. Anyway, it's not the first time that I've actually done that hike. This would be the second time, and what we did is we backpacked in, set up camp, and that was about 6.5 miles or so, and then from there we went another 5.5 miles, pardon me, up to the peak of Langley as a day hike, and hike back down. So that was a 10.5 mile round trip. Anyway. The hiking, getting up to Langley, there's no defined, like, specific trail. There are trails to get you to a certain point, but once you get past that point, you are basically not on your own, but there's no specific one trail to get up there. And what the rangers have done is that they've created these massive waypoints. They're called cairns, that are meant to guide you so that you create less trails up there. I guess is probably the best way to say it, because there's still no one defined trail. But anyway, one of the gals that I was hiking with, on the way up, she kept saying over and over, these cairns are useless. I mean, they put these massive cairns here, and they are useless. They don't tell you anything, because once you get past the cairn, there's no path, there's no trail, there's nothing. And I said, well, that's why you look for the next cairn, and you basically just make your way toward that cairn, and you have to just switch back or choose your path and figure out the best way to go, and that's all it's there for. And she did not like that. She was massively wanting to be in control of the situation and didn't like the fact that there was no defined path. There was just a waypoint ahead that she needed to get to. Anyway, long story short, we actually made it up to the peak, and afterwards she kind of realized that, wow, those cairns really weren't that bad of a deal. It was actually good guidance to get up here, and she kind of let go a little bit of the control. But it was interesting to see her transformation from that. But myself, in hiking up that particular one, it's not exact. Well, it's kind of steep in some places, and it's not easy, to do that. And so while I was hiking up, I remember myself telling myself that, like, you know what, I'm at this point and I just really want to give up, but all I want to do is make it to the next cairn. If I can make it to the next cairn, then I'll figure out what to do from there. And so essentially that's what I did. So from one cairn to the next, I just pushed myself to see if I could make it to the next one. And then the next one, and the next one. And then, of course, I finally, got to the peak. Even though I've done that peak before, it's still challenging when you go through and you do stuff like that again. It's been a couple of years since I did it, so I don't exactly remember everything. But it was kind of like, I just want to turn back. I just want to, I'm tired. I'm done. We just did this crazy backpack in, too. I had to carry a large pack, and my legs are tired and whatever, but I just kept actually pushing myself forward to the next cairn. And before I knew it, I was at the top. So what does this all mean? Well, I guess you can interpret it however you want, but it is trusting the process, basically, is kind of the lesson that I learned out of this, or that I what's the word? I guess reminded myself of, just trusting the process. And while we may not necessarily know the path to take to get to that next waypoint in our process, we know that there is a waypoint and we know that we want to get there. And so it's just a matter of taking one step ahead, one step at a time, moving forward, and just keep on going. And eventually you'll get to that next cairn, or the waypoint, or the goal that you've set. And then at that point you look ahead for the next goal, and the next one, and the next one. You have your big picture that you have, overarching dreams and things, but you just got to make these, or look for the tiny goals and achieve them one at a time in order to get there. You can't just have a helicopter drop you at the top of a peak and be done with it. I mean, you could, I guess, but what fun would that be? All right, anyway, I just wanted to share that. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.